Hey y'all, today I'm showing you how to do some chunky box braids, and this video is sponsored by Sam's Beauty. So my hair is partially stretched. I just put my hair in chunky twists. So the first thing I'm going to do is separate out the front and the back, and I'm using combo control clips to keep that back clipped up. And now I'm going to work in the front first. I'm going to just create two sections in the front. The side part that you see is going to be my side part. So that's how I just pre-plan my parting. So now let's get started. I'm going to work in the back first, and I'm going to just try to make a row from one side to the other. I'm using the middle of my ear as a starting point. There is a little piece right there that's like not straight, but it's whatever. You can fix yours if you want. So I'm using a small mirror just to make sure it's straight, and for the most part, but I don't really care because it's the back of my head. So I determined that the back row is going to have three parts. So I'm going to just try to separate that into equal threes. I'm using a hair butter just to moisturize my hair. I'm going to smooth it on my roots all the way down my hair, and then detangle using a detangling brush. And then I just plait up this section and swirl the ends around my finger. So here's the three plaits like I said. The next row had 4, the next row had 4, the next row had 3, and the last row had 3. Alright, so now we're working in the front, and it's the same thing. I'm just going to part a row out using my combo control clips just to keep the rest of the hair up, and then I actually determined I wanted to make this one part. That's my thinking face. So yeah, so I just put on my hair butter onto the roots and all the way down the hair. Again, I'm detangling using my detangling brush, and then I'm going to plait up this section all the way down to the ends and coil the ends around my finger. So that part only had one part. So on the second row here, I decided to make this 2 parts or 2 braids. And on the third row, I decided to make that 3 braids. And the fourth row, which is the last row on the left side, was 3. So now I'm moving over to the right side, and this side is going to have 2 on the first row, 2 on the second row, and 3 on the third row. So this is the authentic 3X Be Easy pre-stretched 44-inch braiding hair. It comes with 3 bundles of braiding hair. It is pre-stretched and it has a nice textured feeling. So for each braid, I'm using a lot of hair because I want the braids to be chunky, and I'm going to split this piece like in half, but only there's going to be a little piece. I'm going to crochet in that little piece with this braid, and that's all going to be one leg in the braid. So now I'm taking an even chunkier piece, and I'm going to loop it on top of the braid and then start braiding down. Again, that skinny piece and my actual hair, the plait, is going to be one leg, and the other 2 pieces are going to be 2 other legs. So you just want to braid down. Make sure you have your ends concealed in the braid. And if you have to, you can use the edge controls and make sure they're in, but mine were in for the most part. So a little bit after my ends, I decided to put a rubber band on because I wanted it to be a short braided look. And then I put it on really tight so it wouldn't unravel, and then I cut it using some scissors. And yeah, so that's the hair that I had left over. So yeah, so this is how it looks. It's a nice blunt cut look. And now this is how the 3 look in the back, and then now this is how the whole back looks. It looks nice and neat and shiny. Alright, so now I'm up front, and I want to show you again. You want a big piece of hair. You want to take a small piece from it, crochet it into the root of the plait, and that's all going to be one leg for the braid. The braid has 3 legs. This is going to be 1, and then you're going to take the other thick piece and loop it on top and then start plaiting down your hair. And you can plait tightly, or not tightly but firmly, especially in the beginning, just to make sure your braid is nice and firm. At your ends, make sure you tuck them in, and then at the end you want to make sure you put the rubber band on where most of the rubber bands are for the other braids, then cut right afterwards. Make sure your rubber band is tight at the end. Alright guys, so I'm done. So now I'm going to just swoop these edges. So I'm using Shine and Jam just to swoop my edges, and I'm just going to apply it onto the hair, just smooth it down to my face. And then once I do that, I let it dry for a little bit so it can get sticky, and then I start to form it. I just use one finger and then swerve around the other finger. That's how I usually do my edges. So Okay, so I'm only just gonna swirl this part because this part isn't exposed, so like no point. So yeah. To finish it off, I wanted to add some color on the ends of my hair, so I'm using these strings. I found these at Michael's Arts and Crafts. So I just wrapped a good amount of string around the ends just to cover up the rubber bands, and then to secure it, I just tied it like 3 times just to make sure it was secure. You can find the authentic Be Easy 3X braiding hair on samsbeauty.com. It was very easy to braid with, and I love the texture. Thumbs up this video, check out more of my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.